Sophia sat on her bed, admiring her engagement ring. The golden band, which sparkled in the morning light, reminded her of how far she and Elvis had come. She smiled, thinking of the little boy who used to share his lunch with her during break time in secondary school. Elvis had been her best friend back then, always protecting her from bullies and walking her home after school. But life had taken them in different directions. After secondary school, they lost touch when Elvis left for university abroad, and Sophia stayed back to pursue her studies. For years, they didn't see or hear from each other. It wasn't until 6 months ago that they reconnected at a friend's birthday party. The moment their eyes met, it was as if no time had passed. "Hi, Sophia," Elvis smiled. "Hi, Elvis," she replied. "It's been a long time." "Yes, too long, but we have a lot to catch up on." And catch up they did. Over the next few months, they became inseparable. They talked, laughed, and revived their old dreams of the future, until one evening in a private dinner when Elvis got down on one knee and asked Sophia to marry him. With tears of joy in her eyes, she said yes. The weeks of preparation before the wedding were filled with excitement. Sophia's friends were her biggest cheerleaders. They helped her choose the perfect dress, plan the decorations, and organize the guest lists. Meanwhile, Elvis was busy making his own arrangements. He wanted everything to be perfect for Sophia. He booked a band, arranged for a beautiful reception hall, and even practiced his dance moves with his best man, Kunle. "You are really nervous, so aren't you?" Kunle joked one evening as they practiced in Elvis' living room. "Of course I am," Elvis admitted. "I want everything to be perfect for Sophia. She deserves the best." A week before the wedding, Elvis was in his office reviewing the final details of a document when his phone rang. He glanced at the screen and froze. Tina, his ex-girlfriend's name, blinked on the screen. They hadn't spoken since their messy breakup almost a year ago. His heart pounded silently as he answered the call. What could she possibly want again? "Hello?" he said cautiously. "Elvis!" Tina's voice was bright and cheerful. "It's been so long. How are you?" "I'm fine," Elvis replied, unsure of where this was going to. "How about you?" "I'm doing well," she said. "I heard you're getting married. Congratulations." "Thank you," Elvis said, still trying to process the call. "I would love to attend," Tina continued. "It would mean so much to me." Elvis was stunned. "Tina, I don't think that's a good idea," she insisted. "Oh, come on. We've both moved on now. I just want to celebrate with you, nothing more." "Okay, I'll think about it," Elvis finally said, eager to end the call. That evening, he told Sophia about the conversation, and she too was surprised. "Tina wants to come to our wedding?" Elvis nodded. "Yes, but I don't think it is a good idea." Sophia thought for a moment. "Well, if she's really over the past, then why not? Let's be gracious and send her an invitation. It is a joyful celebration after all." The wedding day soon came and everything was perfect. The church was filled with family and friends, all dressed in colorful outfits. Sophia walked down the aisle in her lace gown, glowing with happiness. Elvis stood at the altar smiling as his bride approached. "You may kiss the bride," the pastor said after the vows, and the congregation erupted in cheers as Elvis kissed Sophia. The couple was inseparable throughout that day, and everyone commented on how perfect they were for each other. At the reception, the festive mood doubled. The band played lively music, and the guests sprayed money on the couple as they danced. Even strangers too joined in, celebrating with the newlyweds. In the middle of the fun, Tina appeared. She wore a beautiful red dress and carried herself with confidence. She walked up to Sophia, smiling warmly. "Congratulations, Sophia," Tina said, giving her a warm hug. "You are a beautiful bride." "Thank you," Sophia said, even though she was a little surprised by Tina's friendliness. Tina then turned to Elvis. "Congratulations to you too, Elvis. You've got a wonderful woman there." "Thank you, Tina," Elvis replied. The moments passed without any incidents, and the celebration continued. Elvis' stepmother, who was his only surviving parent, also came forward to spray money, but she used 5 naira notes, which was the lowest denomination in naira. The guests laughed, amused by her frugality. That's just how these old people are. They are always stingy with their money. Sophia whispered to Elvis, who laughed in agreement. 2 days later, Elvis and Sophia boarded a plane to a private island for their honeymoon. The island was a paradise with golden beaches, crystal clear waters, and luxurious apartments. Every day felt like a dream. They explored the island hand in hand, shared candlelit dinners by the sea, and talked late into the night about their plans for the future. For 2 weeks, they lived in bliss, forgetting the world and focusing only on each other. However, the honeymoon glow faded the moment Elvis and Sophia returned home. That first night back, they went to bed as usual, but something felt off. They both woke up the next morning with sour expressions, staring at each other with irritation. "What is your problem?" Elvis snapped as he got out of bed. "What is my problem?" Sophia retorted. "What is your problem?" Elvis said nothing, frowning his face as he headed to the bathroom. Moments later, Sophia heard the flush of water and the sound of the door opening. Elvis walked out without saying a word. Sophia went in next, but the moment she stepped inside, she let out a loud scream. "Elvis!" she yelled and stormed out of the bathroom. "You are such a pig. Look at what you did in there. You urinated all over the toilet seats and you couldn't even flush properly." Elvis turned to her in anger. "Are you mad? Do you think I did that on purpose?" "I don't care if it was on purpose or not," Sophia fired back. "You are disgusting. Can't you at least clean up after yourself?" "Clean up?" Elvis shouted. "Isn't that your job? What do you intend to do in this house anyway? You are not only jobless but useless after all." Sophia's mouth fell open. "Excuse me, what did you just call me?" "You heard me," Elvis backed. "A good wife wouldn't make a big deal out of something so small. You are lazy and spoiled, Sophia." "Lazy?" Sophia laughed bitterly. "If anyone here is lazy, it is you. You can't even aim properly into the bathroom." Their arguments didn't end there. Elvis stormed off to get ready for work, muttering insults under his breath. When he came out to the kitchen, he found Sophia sitting at the dining table, scrolling through her phone. "Where is my breakfast?" he demanded. Sophia didn't look up. "Make it yourself." Elvis' temper rose. "Are you joking right now? What kind of wife doesn't make breakfast for her husband?" "What kind of husband makes demands like he's a king?" Sophia shot back. "You have 2 hands now. Go and use them." Elvis pointed a finger at her angrily. "You are a spoilt brat, Sophia. I married you thinking you would be a good wife, but you are just lazy." "And I married you thinking you would be a good husband," Sophia shot back. "But you are just loud and annoying." When Elvis returned from work that evening, tired and hungry, he found no dinner waiting for him. The kitchen was dark, and Sophia was sitting in the living room watching TV. "No dinner?" he asked. "Nope," Sophia replied with her eyes still glued to the screen. Elvis didn't bother arguing. He grabbed his car keys and went out to buy pizza. When he came back, he sat at the dining table, eager to eat in peace. But as soon as he opened the box, Sophia walked over, picked up the biggest slice, and started eating. "Are you serious right now?" Elvis shouted, slamming his hand on the table. "You can't even cook, and now you're stealing my food?" Sophia took a bite, chewing slowly. "Stealing? I thought we would be sharing everything now that we are married." Elvis glared at her angrily. "You are unbelievable. You are a thief and a shameless one too." Sophia shrugged. "Say whatever you like. I am hungry." Elvis didn't say another word. As he ate what was left of the pizza, Sophia sat across from him, eating her slice without a care in the world. From that day on, things only got worse. Every morning, Elvis and Sophia woke up with hatred in their eyes for each other. They argued over everything: dirty laundry, unwashed dishes, and even the way they arranged the pillows on the bed. One day, Sophia accidentally spilled a glass of water on the living room carpet. Elvis exploded. "Can't you be careful for once?" he yelled. "You are so clumsy." "Oh, please," Sophia snapped. "It's just water. Stop acting like I burned the house down." "You are so careless," Elvis complained further. "You don't have respect at all." "And you don't respect me," Sophia fired back. "You treat me like your maid." Their fights became so frequent that they stopped talking to each other unless it was to argue. They avoided each other as much as possible, but the tension in the house was unbearable. Unfortunately, Elvis' frustration at home started to affect his work. He couldn't concentrate, and his temper often fled during meetings. Within 1 week, he had received 2 warning letters from his boss. The final straw came when Elvis forgot to submit an important proposal, causing the company to lose a major contract. He was called into his boss's office and fired on the spot. When Elvis returned home that evening, he was boiling with anger. Sophia was in the kitchen frying plantains when he barged in. "This is all your fault," he shouted. Sophia turned to him startled. "What are you talking about?" "I lost my job today," Elvis thundered, "and it is all because of you. You are a witch, Sophia. You've cost my life." Sophia's eyes widened. "Are you insane? How is that my fault?" "You are the reason I can't focus," Elvis blamed. "You've brought me nothing but bad luck." Sophia dropped the spatula and faced him. "Maybe you lost your job because you are incompetent. Stop blaming me for your failures." Elvis was too angry to respond. He stormed out of the kitchen, leaving Sophia shaking with rage. Months turned into years, and the situation only got worse. Both Elvis and Sophia were unemployed, and their savings were running out. Their home was now a full-blown battleground. To make matters worse, Sophia had not conceived. Each month brought more disappointments, and Elvis began blaming her for their childlessness. "You are barren," he spat one evening during an argument. "That is why we don't have a child yet." Sophia's voice trembled with anger. "It is you who is impotent. You can't impregnate a woman. You can't even keep a job." Their insults grew harsher with each fight. They stopped sleeping in the same room and barely spoke to each other. The love they once shared seemed like a distant memory now. Yet, whenever friends or family visited, they would pretend as though everything was fine. They wore fake smiles and acted like the perfect couple, hiding the truth from everyone. The battle continued until one day, Elvis woke up that morning feeling empty and defeated. The arguments, the insults, and the constant tension had drained him completely. As he lay in bed staring at the ceiling, he made up his mind. He couldn't stay in this marriage any longer. Sophia was in the kitchen when she heard Elvis moving around the room. When she walked into the bedroom, she found him packing his bags. "Where are you going?" she asked with a mean but curious voice. Elvis didn't look up. "I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore." Sophia stood still, watching him zip his bag. "You're leaving?" she hissed. "So that is it now. You are running away." "I am not running away," Elvis snapped. "I am just saving myself. You've brought me nothing but bad luck, Sophia. No peace, no children, no nothing. It is like I married a witch." Sophia's eyes flared with anger. "A witch? Me? You are the one who is useless. You couldn't even keep your job. And now you are blaming me for your failures?" Elvis turned to face her with fury. "At least I had a job to lose. But you, what have you ever done besides nagging?" Sophia shoved him hard. "Get out," she shouted. "Go. If you think I'm the problem, then leave. Don't ever come back." Elvis grabbed his bag and stormed out of the house without another word. Sophia slammed the door behind him angrily. Sophia spent the next 2 months alone in the house. At first, she felt relieved that Elvis was gone. But as the days turned into weeks, the silence became unbearable. She checked her phone every now and then, hoping for a call or a message from Elvis, but it never came. She refused to call him either. Her pride held her back. One night, as she lay in bed, she had a terrifying dream. She and Elvis were sitting at a wooden table, smiling and talking like they used to in the early days of their relationship. Suddenly, a faceless figure approached them with a covered dish, placing it on the table with a smile. Elvis and Sophia eagerly opened the dish, but their smiles vanished. The plate was filled with wriggling earthworms. They tried to stand up and push the plate away, but the faceless figure began flogging them with a whip, forcing them to eat the worms. As Sophia put the first worm in her mouth, she woke up screaming. Her heart was pounding heavily, and she sat up in bed, clutching her chest. The dream felt so real that she couldn't shake off the feeling of dread. The next night, the dream came again, exactly the same way. This time, Sophia couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. She knew something was wrong. She needed help. The following morning, Sophia went to a nearby church and asked to see the pastor. She was taken to his office, where she poured out her heart. She told him about her disastrous marriage, Elvis' departure, and the disturbing dreams she had been having. The pastor listened carefully, nodding as she spoke. When she finished, he leaned forward. "Sophia, your marriage is under attack," he said. "These dreams are not ordinary. They are a sign of spiritual manipulation. We need to pray and ask God to reveal the roots of this problem." Sophia nodded amidst tears. "Pastor, I don't know what to do. Elvis had left me. I don't even know where he is. I am all alone." The pastor comforted her. "Don't be afraid. God will fight for you. Stay here and pray with us." Sophia did not return home that day. She stayed at the church, praying seriously for God's intervention. She cried out for mercy and asked God to expose the truth. The next morning, the pastor came to meet her at the altar. His face was serious. "Sophia, God revealed some things to me last night." "What did he show you, Pastor?" Sophia asked. The pastor took a deep breath and led her to his office. As they were seated, he asked her, Do you remember having any unusual contact with someone on your wedding day? Sophia frowned. There were so many people that day hugging and dancing with us. I don't know who you mean. The pastor continued. I saw a young lady hugging you. She rubbed a white handkerchief on your belly without your knowledge. Sophia froze. Tina, that was Elvis' ex-girlfriend. She hugged me during the reception and I remember she was holding a white handkerchief, but I didn't notice anything strange. The pastor nodded. She used that handkerchief to place a curse on you. She's bitter and vengeful because she believes she should have married Elvis instead of you. She cursed your womb to make you barren and brought discord into your marriage so that Elvis would leave you and eventually return to her. Sophia covered her mouth in shock as her tears flowed. How could she do this to us? But the pastor wasn't finished. There is more. In the vision, I saw 5 naira notes everywhere during your wedding. Did someone spray you with those? Sophia thought back. Yes, Elvis' stepmother. She sprayed us with 5 naira notes and everyone laughed about it. The pastor's expression grew darker. That was not a joke. She used those poor notes to curse your finances. She wanted to ruin your marriage because she believes Elvis stopped giving her money when he decided to marry you. Sophia burst into tears. Pastor, what do I do? How can we break these curses? I want my husband back. The pastor took her hands and led her in an intense prayer session. For 6 hours, they prayed and broke the chains of every curse placed on her and Elvis. As Sophia rested in the pastor's office after the prayers, her phone rang. It was Elvis. She hesitated for a moment before answering. Elvis, she said slowly. Sophia, his voice sounded strange, almost confused. Where are you? I'm at the church, she replied. What is wrong? I don't know what is happening, Elvis said. I was in the kitchen cooking rice when I suddenly felt different, as if something heavy left me. Then Tina screamed and came out. Her face was burnt on one side. She said something about charms and curses. Sophia, I think she has been manipulating me. Sophia's heart skipped. Come to the church address I will send to you now. The pastor will explain everything better. Elvis arrived at the church looking disoriented. The pastor explained everything to him, from Tina's curse to his stepmother's manipulation. Elvis was shocked and angry. My own stepmother, he said, shaking his head. How could she do this to me? The pastor counseled him. Forgive them, but don't bring them close to allow them control you anymore. They are already paying for their evil. Elvis turned to Sophia, filled with regrets. Sophia, I am so sorry. I didn't know. Sophia hugged him tightly. It is not your fault. Let's start over. They returned home together and started all over. This time, their relationship was intentional. They tried their best to make up for the hurts and hate they had poured out in each other, and soon they fell back into their lovely routine. 3 months later, Elvis got a new job at a prestigious firm. That evening, as he returned home to celebrate the success of his first day at work with Sophia, she greeted him at the door with a radiant smile. She ran to hug him. Elvis, I have good news. What is it? He asked curiously. I'm pregnant. Elvis' face lit up with joy. He picked her up and spun her around. Thank God. Sophia, we are finally going to be parents. They knelt together, thanking God for rescuing their marriage and giving them a fresh start. From that day on, they centered their lives on love and faith, confident that nothing could break what God had restored. Thank you for watching this story. What lessons did you learn from this story? And what did you love about the story? Share the story out with your loved ones and give the story a thumbs up also. Subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories. Thank you and remain blessed.